don't give a goddamn about you.
Hello, world. We're Faces of Many.
Hello.
I'm Eric.
I'm Marc.
I'm Raf.
And we're Faces of Many, which was already stated.
Ha.
Couple times.
This is our podcast, Brewtality on Demand.
Brewtality on Demand.
Which, don't get confused, it's just a catchy name. We're not actually on demand. You can't just be on us and be like, I want to watch the Avengers. It's not how this works. So, the name of the game is we come in here, we have some brews,
Cervezas.
and we talk about fucked up shit. Because we're ugly metal dudes and we like fucked up shit.
Yes, it's enjoyable.
I guess there's a format. Because we're going to talk about some songs, and we're going to talk about some, movies and shows and stuff, and then we're going to talk about real life shit. But, I mean, it's chill, fam.
Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
This is going to be...
So,
wow.
with that in mind...
The song we played in the beginning?
Let's spin the Coors can to decide who has to talk about a song first.
I think Raf said he wanted to go first.
No, it's the can. You gotta...
Let's see, what do we got? Oh!
Yeah!
That was set up.
Wins.
Eric
Yes!
spun the can, and he won.
Eric wins!
Okay.
Eric always wins!
Ladies and gentlemen, now Mr. Eric Mann.
Alright, I present to you the Midnight Society. There's an Are You Afraid of the Dark reference for all you hip 90s kids. I would like to bring up the song Blasphemian by Infant Annihilator. The reason I would like to bring this song up, if I can figure out where I put my phone because I have the lyrics there. There's a couple reasons I want to bring this up. First, I want to read off some of these lyrics. They have come to conquer the cunt and slay the offspring, harvesting the land of putridity, harnessing its treacherous essence. Aroused by the extermination, I, the apocalypse inseminator, bow to my infestation, the era of infant annihilation. And then there's various, pedophilic references intermixed with, poop talk and blood.
Poop talk.
And it's great. It's terrific. It's wonderful. But the main reason I want to bring this song up is because this band got kicked off Spotify. So Infant Annihilator. Yeah, they got kicked off Spotify for a little. I think they're back. There wasn't a lot of news on this, but I think they're back. So that's fun. By the way, Dying Fetus.
Oh my god.
Cattle Decapitation, Cannibal Corpse, Anal Cunt, all still on there. But Infant Annihilator got kicked off.
Yeah.
It's because they're talking about annihilating babies.
Pretty much.
I guess that's the line.
The name of the band.
I guess that's the line. It's like, you're talking about annihilating people. That's bad. Talking about annihilating babies.
Just bring it down to babies.
Babies, it's fine.
It's a whole nother level.
Murder all the people. Hell, you can write a song about shooting up a school, and it's the pop summer jam. Foster the people, looking at you.
Wow.
Wow. It is so fucking hard to be an independent band.
Yeah.
We need to play a clip of that.
Oh, yes. Should we?
Sound.
We can do that. For the record, this is what we're talking about. This song's super long. I should
Well, just it's
Fair
start
warning.
talking.
We can jump to a. This is very unexpected.
just let it go. Just let it go. Let it do its thing for a minute. You're a Metallica guy, Raph. This should be kind of up your.
I mean, I like it.
I like it. Yeah. It's very Very soothing, very melodic.
No, it's like Enya. That was Enigma.
No, I'm sorry, dude.
Oh.
Here we go. Wow. I have to say that's pretty fucking badass. That video is fucking awesome too. By the way, we're watching.
The music video is fucking nuts.
It's amazing. It's Infant Annihilator. What is that?
Yeah, Marc, try to give commentary to this.
No, the name of the video.
Blasphemian.
Blasphemian. There you go. Fucking awesome video.
So yeah, the video's wacky.
A lot of tongues.
Yeah, like tongues and bits and shit. Pretty cool.
Wow.
I guess.
I am a fan.
I feel like this is one of those bands where like I like the initial sound. Like I think it sounds great, but I don't know if I can listen to a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a pig squealy guy.
I don't know if it's so much the pig squeals. I like the vocals and how they blend with the guitars because it has that like. There's like a smoothness to the character and the vocal tone that I like.
It's crisp, like Einstock Olgerd Icelandic White Ale.
Very much.
Taste the Viking in you.
But just the song structure, I think, is a little. I mean, you know, I'm more of like a fucking groove, beatdown kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Simple,
Rafiq
straightforward
goes out
rhythm.
and crowd kills.
Yeah.
Rafiq is insane.
live for.
Very good.
I honestly thought bringing up the Spotify thing was gonna get the other two musicians in the room a lot angrier, but that didn't happen. So to the Coors can we go?
Coors can.
All right, spin the Coors can. Marc
Mark's in
or Mushface.
Mush. It was actually
Mush, you got a story?
You could talk about this topic for hours. I mean, there's so many bands that fall in this category, and you know. But I did pick and come across a Cannibal Corpse song, an earlier one. I Come Blood. Classic.
That can't be healthy.
Classic. It's not.
You should really get
I
that looked
got medication for it. But in this classic, I'll read a little bit from thy scripture of thy Cannibal Corpse.
Preach!
I can feel it! Swollen with liquid ready to burst, a load of my lymph will quench this dead body's thirst. 1 month in the grave, twisted and half decayed, she turned a putrid yellow. I pissed in her maggot-filled asshole. Fucking the rotting, my semen is bleeding, the smell of decay seeps from her genital cavity. And it goes on and on.
I mean,
and,
it's pretty gnarly.
It's
It's a little fucked. It's a little fucked.
When it comes to that department of music, I mean, those guys are godfathers in that department. And there's many, but, you know, the Cannibal Corpse, man, is just...
So, I guess we should play a little bit of this.
Everybody has that?
Everybody knows what old Cannibal Corpse sounds like.
Of course. If you don't, you should.
Not everybody.
Well, they do now.
They're not that famous.
Everybody that's going to
You
listen
think
to this
Katy
song.
Perry knows what Cannibal Corpse sounds like? This is what having no neck makes you.
George. Hey, by the way, Mr. George, Corpse Grinder, we love you, bro. You're fucking amazing.
Such a gnarly
Fucking love that riff.
God, I love him.
So brutal. Ugh.
It is.
You know, I just
And to anyone out there who's like, how do you understand the lyrics? Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's how.
You don't, and it doesn't matter.
Go fuck yourself. Nobody wants you here.
I always like Cannibal Corpse to that classic, like, Central Florida
Oh yeah.
guitar tone, that death metal tone.
That death
Yeah.
metal.
Got
And there's
Tampa
many
on
many
that.
others, and not to leave anybody out, but that's just you want to.
Like,
Well, I like-
Death-
Also, the album. I love their album art.
Well, I like my death
But
metal
yeah,
a little
yeah.
on the ignorant side. Like, death
Yeah.
gets a little too proggy for my
Deicide.
taste. Obviously, I mean, they're a great band. I like their music,
I
but
can understand that.
like, I want, when I listen to death metal, I want to be like, you know what would go really good with this? Meth. Because that's how like classless I want it to be.
That's a
I
lot of
think,
good.
I
lot
think
of
one
good
of the
ones.
reasons I always like Death is because I like old Metallica, and there's a
They're
lot of
very-
proggy stuff, especially when you get to like Injustice for All. And then
Now
Death
we're
is like
talking.
the next heavy
Now we're
step or
talking.
whatever.
Welcome to the Metallica podcast.
Well,
run
now
by
we're talking.
Rafiq.
This is actually shitty because me being the oldest, guy in the room, I'm farting dust. But I've been a Metallica fan
fact.
since the
So
beginning.
brutal.
But Injustice, I fucking love that album. Anyway.
So I guess it's my turn.
Yeah,
Well, we gotta spin the
can.
chords.
Oh,
No. Oh, and then Rafiq, what a coincidence.
Which
Very
face
well.
you got a song
Fuck
on
you,
that?
Can.
That was a good
So,
can. Ladies and gentlemen.
next time we might plan this out a little better.
Just so you guys know, for the record out there in podcast land, we're all retarded and losers. But
Yeah, maybe we won't pick 2 Cannibal Corpse songs.
But they're
maybe-
a great band.
Or maybe this will just become the Cannibal Corpse podcast.
Or maybe we'll
Who
pick.
Let's
knows?
talk about
They got a lot of music.
They do.
And they were in a movie once.
Yes.
We could just talk about Ace Ventura
Which is
for
going to lead
days.
us to Ace Ventura. This is going to go on forever.
There we go.
There's
What
some
will be
funny
2 now?
stories about that too. I picked Kill or Become. It's off of Skeletal Domain, one of their newer ones.
Yes, sir.
It's not as brutal as the shit you guys have picked, but I was kind of going for like a decapitation kind of theme tonight,
Right,
but it
right,
didn't work out
right.
because then the movie or the show that I picked is not.
Spoilers.
No decapitation.
Spoilers.
That's okay.
Anyway, fire up the chainsaw, hack all their heads off. Fire up the chainsaw, hack their fucking heads off. I don't know. They do it in such a catchy way that I just get stuck in my
Fire
head.
up the chainsaw.
And then I'm just like
Hack
walking,
the fucking heads off.
I'm walking around the office singing
Hack
the
the
song,
fucking heads
and
off.
everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy.
I love it. I'm running around the shop all day singing this shit out loud. People are like, what the fuck?
It was funny because when you talked about wanting to do this, I was doing that earlier that day. I listened to it on the way to work, and I'm walking around. Anyway,
But it's great.
it was
It's
funny
good
shit.
stuff.
So what does this song sound like?
This is, once again, this is their newest shit. This is the
Yeah.
last album.
one before the
Before the
last.
last album. Temple.
Cannibal stayed consistent.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Cannibal Corpse has remained a good band.
The guitar tone on the new albums is just delicious.
Red Before Black, right?
That was
Yeah.
the most recent one, yeah. This was Skeletal Domain.
That's fucking sick. That's bad. That's not bad.
For those that can't see the video, just a lot of zombies getting fucked up by
pretty
chainsaws.
much.
Chainsaws!
Very nice.
Fuck The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna?
Ooh.
You
Anyway.
think that they're gonna fuck the zombies after they kill them?
Maybe.
I just,
They have
I
a song
think that's
called
what.
Fucking Zombies or some shit. I wouldn't be surprised.
Or fuck the zombies after I kill. Can I become a zombie?
Aye, aye, aye. Speaking about fucking zombies, off related to subject, but while it's in my head, not fucking zombies, but the latest.
What the fuck are you doing?
Exactly right behind the closed doors. The latest person to get pinned or accused of, sexual harassment or blah blah blah, Mr. Dustin Hoffman. I thought
Really?
that was hilarious. Supposedly when,
Not Dusty Hoffy.
supposedly in the I think '84, this is what came on radio. But anyway, You're talking about fucking
Wait,
zombies.
Dustin Hoffman raped an
Yeah.
84-year-old?
Yeah, definitely.
That's
Yeah.
that's age appropriate for
Yeah.
him.
154 matchsticks.
Is that the one who
Yeah.
really creepily was married to Catherine Zeta-Jones?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
She's
Was it?
No, I don't
She's
know. I'm just
spicy.
kidding. She is a little spicy.
muy caliente.
Okay.
That's not racist, right?
No, muy caliente? No.
That's a word. It's just a
No.
Spanish word.
Michael Douglas.
Michael Bolton?
Michael Douglas is married.
Michael
to Catherine
Douglas is
Zeta-Jones.
married to Dustin Hoffman?
not Dusty Hoffy.
Dusty Hoffy and Michael Douglas is married.
Mikey Dougie and Dusty Hoffy.
Mikey does Dougie. Anyways. So. But yeah, everybody's song was a little different except for,
Except for you two.
But I mean, that genre. I mean, I think it's gonna be
So-
a Cannibal Corpse every week. But
So what do we do now? Do we vote? Do we do we
Who had the most brutal
do we argue? Do we each argue why ours is the most brutal? Like what is it? We have to plan this shit.
But if anybody
This out a little
listening to
better
this
next time.
has any ideas, questions, comments, concerns, and wants to, bullshit about something, for
Fuck
us,
you.
I mean, we could just be
Faces
talking
of
about
Many,
stuff.
Faces of Many at Gmail. No, Faces of Many FOM
I
at
don't know what the fucking
gmail.com.
Faces of Many FOM. Faces of Many FOM at
Thank
gmail.com.
you, Eric.
Facebook.com/Faces of Many.
So
YouPorn.com/Faces of Many compilation 37.
Lots of stuff with Dennis and that.
Oh, yeah.
Dennis and Brian.
Brian Benton.
Of course, the two that aren't here.
Yeah, you gotta
Make
say
it
his
more
last
funny.
name or people won't know. But now that you've said Brian Benton, everyone
Now
knows.
they know.
People
You
know
don't-
who you're talking
You don't
about.
know who he is? I don't
From
want to.
Noir. Duh.
Thank
Oh.
you.
By the way, we should congratulate Brian
Why did he not masturbate today?
because he got engaged today.
What?
What? I don't want to make any
Listen,
comments about that.
Call him up on the phone. Listen, we're live, Brian. This is fucking live.
I mean, it's not. So, Mark, why is yours the most brutal?
I just think the content involved in it. I mean, there's stuff obviously a lot more brutal and stuff. The way it was written out,
Pissing
talking
in
about
a
pissing.
maggot-filled
Yeah,
asshole.
exactly. My
That's what
semen
it is
is
for me.
bleeding.
You're being too articulate.
My
Just-
semen is the smell of decay. Yeah, I pissed in her maggot-filled asshole, tonguing her rotted anus. I mean, classic lyrics, definitely. Two cut off.
Tonguing her rotted anus.
Tonguing her rotted anus, which is actually new on Tinder, but definitely two cut thumbs up in the air.
There's such a way of like painting a picture there.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
How many
You
images
actually
come to
see
your
it
head
in
when
in
you're
such a
fucking-
Neanderthal way.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so
It's like
silly.
cave paintings.
You know?
It's because I really thought I would kind of have this. I really thought I was coming in here with
I didn't even get to
the nasty shit, but
I came.
my guys are too articulate.
I came blood inside her, choking on her clot, gagging on the snot. Anyway, I can go on forever, but
Well, but okay, so here's the
It's
part
not
about
so
that
much
song I don't get. So the
yeah.
rest of the song is about how he's like horribly fucking this woman up while he fucks her.
basically, yeah, yes, sir.
But so why does he come blood? Does it explain that?
Explain that.
Is it explained why
That's on the next album.
like Corpse Grinder? I mean, it doesn't have to be George Fisher. He could just be writing as a character.
Oh, George loves this show. He listens constantly.
So it's George, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Don't
Hey, what up, George?
Georgie,
You
what's up?
You no-necked fuck.
Oh, George, I didn't say that. Just so you know for the record.
Oh my god,
That was Eric.
If I ever meet him, he's gonna kick my
Eric,
ass. And
yes,
that'll be terrific.
and that'll
Except
be.
he doesn't listen to this because no one's gonna listen to
Well,
this.
hold on. Now I feel like we missed some stuff here because Mark was saying we didn't even get to the good stuff of the lyrics. Like
Well,
they're
you know
talking
what?
about body dug up to play with, skin greasy and naked, tonguing her rotted anus.
Great.
I need a live woman to fill with my fluid.
That's just a good line. That's like some Poison shit.
I mean,
That could just as easily be a hair metal song.
and here's the thing too.
I need a live woman to fill with my fluid.
And the best part about this shit is anybody that takes this shit seriously needs a fucking Rochambeau. I mean, come on. That's what the best part is about it.
Oh, I seriously thought a ruinous prophecy of blasphemous pedophilic triumph would be the victor here. I
That-
really thought.
Sounds like
I have to look up
really
half
thought-
of those words.
Yeah, birth spawn of I, the Elysian Grandival Galeriarch. I don't even know what he's getting at there. But right before that, slaved harlots by my side, sliding down my colossal cock. This is a good line.
wow.
This is a good line. But you know what? Corpse Grinder, man, he just knows how to go for it.
But how big is a colossal cock?
As big as a colossus, at least.
Wow. I mean, is it? Let's see.
I mean, but that depends on what we're comparing it to. We're
Right.
talking about like
It's
a
it's
colossal
relative,
ant,
right?
because like that's not that big. Ants are small. For anyone at home who's not aware of what an ant is,
What is this?
what is this?
School for ants?
This is the weird metal show where we also make random references to really shitty movies. Oh
Which,
boy!
is many of them. But yeah, definitely our just our first go around. We'll get a little more organized. Not too much, because then we'll become too corporate.
I'm gonna concede. I'm gonna concede that Marc has the most brutal song here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna concede. I don't.
Lyric wise,
Lyrically,
yeah. I mean,
and the
is
guitar sound, and that fucking riff in the beginning,
it's
like
great.
the transition
it's great.
riff.
It's great.
But I do recommend, if you like yourself some ignorant ass deathcore with like way too big words, I recommend checking out Blasphemy. And it's a
No,
brutal
it
song.
was
And that
pretty
music
cool.
video
I
is
agree.
fucking weird.
It
That's
is
that
super
great.
weird.
Great. I agree.
It is a good time. And
So-
obviously, I mean, also listen to more Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah, why not?
Fuck you. The Juggalos are gonna
Can't go
take
wrong
over
with
ever since they played The Gathering.
I'm Violent J and I'm back like a vertebrae.
Who's gonna be the first person to bring in an Insane Clown Posse song for this? That's the real question.
If we have Leah on as a guest, she'll bring one.
Okay. So
Yo, to all my juggalos out there, what up?
whoop
Juggets.
whoop, family.
So
Well, with this out of the way and us having decided who has the most brutal song, we are going to make a beer run. We're going to take a break. While we're taking a break, please enjoy the dulcet tones of my voice as we listen to the song God Mind by us.
Alright.
Faces of
Many.
Many
many more.
Break.
Great song, by the way.
Can you keep
Which, by the way, is a fucking great song. What's on there? What's on there? That's them pumping the mic.
This
Huh?
We're on? All
Check,
right.
check,
Check
fuck
1,
faces.
2. Welcome back. That segment was brought to you by Coors Light. It's the right beer now. No, we're not sponsored by Coors Light.
Ride the bullet that's made of silver.
My mountains are blue, so that means
we're
the beer is
werewolves
cold.
now.
So,
Well,
in this,
we're working on a werewolf song.
I'm gonna use the Eric word.
No one cares.
I think I just made up the but our next segment.
That last song was Godmind.
Yes.
I'm
yes,
sorry,
it
you were
was.
saying.
Did it play Godmind?
Yeah, with it.
Wow.
People aren't supposed to know that we weren't actually playing Godmind. It's supposed to be the illusion of radio.
Oh, kind of like when the Statue of Liberty disappeared by David. Anyway. So, in this segment, we're going to talk about movies.
Brutal movies.
Brutal movies.
Or TV shows.
Okay, our TV shows. Okay. Very well.
But who wants to spin the can?
I'll spin it.
Oh, Raph is spinning!
Yeah, Raph is
I'm
spinning!
totally unprepared for this. That's good.
The
Microphone!
microphone wins. Spin again.
Oh, Rafiq.
I suck at spinning. I'm not spinning anymore.
That's sad.
All right, so I guess I'll go first. So I was.
No, go ahead.
I mean, yes, there's a lot of death in that show and
I just
brutal
figured-
ways.
Dragons.
Dragons.
The
So
best house is House Greyjoy, because they got a big squid.
So we were talking about this. The first thing that came to mind for me was the Blood Eagle from Vikings.
Wow.
Season what?
Season-
Episode?
Season 2, episode 7. I did write it down.
Off the top of his head.
Yeah.
Off the top of his head, did he do that?
I didn't research this week's in advance.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You guys kick ass. I did know. I think I read something once while taking a shit on the phone, so I will be better prepared with my pencil and pen next week. Anyway, back to you, Raph.
I don't even watch movies or shows.
The bloody.
What is going on?
He doesn't know.
Brutality!
Yes.
On demand.
So I think in the show he does this to his leader, his clan leader or whatever. Right? So Ragnar does the Blood Eagle to this guy. So for those of you that don't know, the Blood Eagle
It's like a Cleveland steamer.
is
No.
in here somewhere.
That's exactly
The ribs are severed from the spine with a sharp tool and the lungs are pulled through the opening to create a pair of wings.
That's fucking brutal, bro.
Whoa, I mean, okay, let's be fair.
Wow.
I'm sure it hurts, but now you can fly.
And how many people?
I mean, they're inflatable too, right?
And how many people are gonna die saying, "Fuck, man, I just had the Blood Eagle." I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to die going, "Wow, this fucking hurts," but it's a fucking Blood Eagle. I mean, that's
So I know we're talking about like movies and shit, but so this shows up in the show, and then I was like looking into it later on, and it's actually like a real thing, but there are only 2 instances of it mentioned in Viking lore.
it's a real
So
thing.
it's pretty interesting.
It happens in
Vi-
life.
Vikings were fucking crazy, man.
Yes.
Like, those dudes were... Although the Native
The
Americans
Vikings were-
chased them off, if you really know your history.
Eric.
It's actually true.
Eric is, for as retarded as he is, he's actually really smart. He's
What?
ugly. He's ugly as fucking sin, but he's fucking smart.
I know how to read the words
I'll tell you
real good.
He got some pretty lips too.
That's how I won my cousin over. I wrote her a poem.
A poem.
A poem. I'm gonna say that's pretty legit. That's pretty sick.
Blood Eagles are nasty, and the fact that they did that on like a... Because that's not even like an HBO show. That's on like History Channel or
Yeah, it's
some
on
shit,
History
right?
Channel.
Yeah. It's
So like that they did that on that show.
Right. Well, and I think that's one of the credit to the History Channel, using actual historical stuff
Yeah.
in
Bloody-
their shows.
Like Ancient
Blood
Aliens.
that sounds
Well.
like
I'm not saying it was aliens, but
that's real.
it was aliens.
I really hope enough people... I mean, I don't care how many people actually listen to this, but I hope enough people do that we get at least a couple of like super angry people who are like into the Ancient Aliens thing. Like, actually, there's stuff really well researched.
It actually happened. Yeah.
How do you think the pyramids got built? Wasn't no million slaves. No, I've never actually watched the Viking show.
What?
It's
I haven't seen an episode either. I did, but no.
Yeah.
Well, at least we're all not picking the same show.
I watch the channel religiously, and every time it goes on, I'm old. I gotta fucking wake up at the crack of ass to go to work because I gotta pay my
I
bills.
started watching it on
I started
Hulu.
retarding it,
Which is
sorry.
about to go away because
Yeah,
of the net
'cause
neutrality
yeah.
thing.
Yes. But anyway, I do want to watch it.
The
It's a
fact
good
that
show.
Disney bought Fox.
And bring the
Yeah.
mood down.
But yeah, it's a good show. I rank it up there with Game of Thrones in terms of like.
You know, that's
How
another show
exciting
I've
I
never
get
saw
about
one
it.
episode of.
Oh, I fucking love
Game of Thrones?
man.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can contact me on MySpace.
it's
Plus, you know, Catherine
it's
Winnick-
really fucked up when everybody dies.
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's pretty much the gist of the show.
Everyone.
Everybody dies.
um,
A lot of people die in Vikings too.
That was how they hyped the show one season. All men die, and it was like, well, 50% of the cast is fucked.
Right.
I'm like, what's the next season? All women die. The next season, all cats.
it's dope.
So yeah, if you guys
was
have
the
some free
rules.
time,
I would
I highly
check it
recommend
out.
Vikings.
But
I've
I just
kept up with
for
it
the simple fact
five,
of this
5 seasons in now.
five seasons.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know. Is that? But just
I
for
just
the
watched
simple
Thor
fact of it-
Ragnarok. Does that count?
It is Viking related.
I just listened to a little bit of Sons of Ragnarok. Does that count?
Yeah.
Good band.
I want to see that movie though. I haven't seen it yet.
Which one?
Thor Ragnarok.
I'm amazed you didn't bring up Amon Amarth
So.
Yeah.
in that moment.
Now that you say that, I'm going to bring up Amon Amarth because I recently bought 2 Amon Amarth albums. I never really listened to them before, and their songs are so fucking catchy.
Yeah, they're dope.
Yeah, no, I got a lot of that.
Raise your horns, raise them up to the sky.
It's fucking great. So yeah, I'm a convert. I like that band now.
We got to meet my old band while we're talking about Teresa's.
Oh, those guys are cool. Yeah.
I met them at Firestone when I was in Hist back then. Anyway, cool guys. They're fucking huge. They come off stage.
What,
and
you don't
drink
know
a beer
Hist?
with you. So, hey, oh yeah, Hist. I'm glad you brought that up, Eric. No. I'm sorry, in podcast land, I was looking at Rafiq as I was talking to him. I know you don't know who Hist is. But Hist is actually a great band that formed... No, I was actually talking to Rafiq. Sorry. Fuck you, Eric. and fuck you, podcast! No.
All our fine listeners out there, all you histomaniacs.
Histomania! That's right, brother! Take your vitamins! Oh,
Yes!
Eric!
Yes,
Ladies
I'm
and
so
gentlemen,
excited for this category.
Please welcome to center stage, Eric
I
Knight.
just peeked the fuck out of the microphone. I'm so stoked. All right, my movie is, I don't know how much this counts as a movie,
Mine wasn't a movie.
but there's a police training video called Surviving Edged Weapons.
Wow, brought to you by Hist.
But it's amazing. It's from like the...
Hold on, pause for a second. Where would, if somebody, you're talking about that, and actually I'm very intrigued now, we're hearing about it, but how do you find something like that? Do you
It's
just
on
sit
YouTube.
I'm going to search the police training video. Okay, go ahead. And action,
So
roll.
full disclosure, it was on an episode of a YouTube channel I like called Red Letter Media. If you enjoy, if you're kind of a cinema snob and like watching people shit on good movies, Red Letter Media, they're great, and they do this series called Best of the Worst, and they do this series called Wheel of the Worst, where they get these random submissions, and people send them things like, you know, Dunkin' Donuts training videos and things like that. It's usually miserable.
What was this called?
Surviving Edged Weapons.
Edged Weapons.
So let me set the stage for this police training video. The opening,
Wait, is it really an hour and a half long?
yeah, but it's a full, dude, it's like a full movie. Cause it's like, it starts with cavemen killing each other with spears. Cause those would count as edged weapons.
That's funny shit.
Oh, it's nuts. And it
I
was
mean,
like,
they are edged.
and it
even if
was
it's a
was
stone.
filmed in, apparently it's like for the Wisconsin Police Department. So everyone has these ridiculous Wisconsin
cavemen.
accents. fucking cavemen in this police
wait.
training video.
Caveman from Wisconsin?
This is a police training video that starts with two cavemen going at it over meat.
No wonder why the cops get fucking pissed. They gotta watch this shit.
It's.
Got nothing to
Are
do
you
with the
kidding
job.
me? I wish my training videos
right?
were this good.
I just had to do a bunch of new training bullshit and. This
Okay.
is way better.
Okay, if we're looking up scenes though, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. No, well we gotta. This mouse.
It's got a wheelie ball.
Okay, yeah. This thing is nuts.
Eric stands up and goes, if we're looking at, like, people
Okay,
in podcasts,
First
I know
off,
what he's doing.
I mean, this is an hour and a half police training video.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dick stabbing that must get mentioned. Yeah. Within the first.
But he's getting the vein in the leg, right?
Yeah, because they are trying to highlight shit like that. Now, where is it? It's.
We got a song.
Man, this is like a legit movie. Like if this.
No,
if
it totally is.
If this was an hour and a half of these cavemen going at it for meat, I would watch that shit.
Okay.
Using deadly force.
Okay.
Weapon delivery system.
Oh, yes, sir. On the management, there's a woman getting ready to Department 24 right now.
There's a woman getting
I
raped.
can't see, Eric.
There's a woman getting raped in Apartment 24 right now.
Okay, we'll check it out. Let you know.
When does that?
That's been going on a while because it
Right.
took us a couple minutes.
We're already here. There's like 4 of us.
It's
Why
not-
didn't you do something?
Oh, boy.
I'm
By the way,
here for
it
gangbang.
must be stated for what they walk in on.
Possibility
How
of
is this
using
confused with a rape?
force. You want to
You'll
be
see,
certain
you'll
of
see.
Target identification.
Come on.
Target
Target
identification.
I'm here for the
isolation.
gangbang.
Gotta achieve target isolation. Gotta isolate that target. Gotta do it.
Holy shit.
Oh, he said, holy shit.
Oh, they curse? Yeah, it's great.
Holy shit.
It's the best shit in the world.
This is like a legit.
Look,
It's a satanic ritual.
with an Iron the Trooper poster.
It is, dude.
What out of here?
How is that rape?
That was a big deal,
It's
though.
not even close. It's like.
That was a big deal, though, in the early 90s.
I guess it was. Like people. Were
Like people
scared,
about
really
the
terrified
satanic.
about
That's
this
why
stuff.
those the West Memphis 3, the kids in Arkansas who got
Oh.
blamed for the kids. Yeah. That's what you do. Fuck you, Satan lady.
Oh!
How is this confused for a rape?
You could
It
totally.
makes no sense.
How is this lady
It's not
sitting in here
even
going,
remotely
"Hail
close."
Satan, be Satan," and people were like,
When you do have to use your firearm, remember this acronym.
Siemens?
SMENS.
"Men's."
You shoot.
Wait,
to
you
stop
shoot?
the attacker's threatening action.
Maybe shoot more.
Out of the attacker's
Move.
path. You evaluate. whether
You
the
gotta
attacker
evaluate. You
is
shoot, move,
incapacitated.
evaluate,
Shouldn't you be
neutralize,
Continuing threat.
which you did with
is not being
shooting.
stopped.
and then you shoot
And
again.
finally,
No.
you scan the area for
Okay.
Let's put the breakdown now.
Shouldn't evaluate be at the top of this list?
Evaluate.
no, you shoot.
first.
Shoot
You
first.
move.
You get the fuck out of the way.
Then you
Then you look at
evaluate.
what happened.
Oh shit, I
Like,
should
oh, okay.
It's a 90-year-old.
Okay. I shot this fucker and I got out of the way. That's what happened.
Listen. If you watch this whole thing, if you no, if you watch this whole thing, I recommend it. Surviving Edged Weapons. Look it
Yeah,
up on
it's fucking
YouTube. This is
fantastic
amazing.
so far.
The next scene's a cocaine bust.
All right, we'll keep going.
No, we don't have to.
but this is what I also find amusing. Shoot,
Okay, shoot.
and then neutralize. It's way down.
It's about
Shoot but miss.
Isn't that the goal?
Pretty
Shoot right.
much.
You fucking
If I'm gonna
miss the
shoot
first time, and then you move.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna
You
neutralize the
stupid
situation.
SMENS.
Start firing off your piece.
Dude, no,
It just doesn't make sense.
this movie, this movie in quotation marks. It's-
Training video.
this police training video, we'll call it the PTV from now on. So this PTV,
Oh, that's good.
it's a necessary
That's
acronym,
nice.
I feel. This PTV, like all you do, like up until this point. So this is actually this scene is 59 minutes in. Yeah, so we're at the 50-minute mark, and all you've seen up to this point, except for the cavemen and bad Wisconsin accents, is the narrator telling you of all the ways you can get stabbed by someone. They're like, they'll put razors in the back of their hat and then flick it at you.
What?
Ninja style.
I'm not even kidding, it's a thing. There's literally a scene where a guy throws a ninja star. That's... Hi, Leah.
Everybody.
James,
Leah Bassario just entered the room.
Rafiq's wife is now in here. Leah, how do you feel about SMENS? Shoot, move, evaluate, neutralize, and scan.
I agree.
There you go. There you have it, folks. Unbelievable move.
Shit works. So there's literally a ninja star scene.
I love ninja.
There's quite literally a scene.
You actually see people get
A
hit by ninja
perpetrator is chasing, a cop is chasing a perpetrator. The perpetrator turns and throws a ninja star at it. It's not even like it's a black, like, gangbanger type guy.
Nice.
It's like, it's nuts. Not
so
all people of color.
Ninja
Not all
stars.
people.
And it's funny because it's actually like showing like blood spurting out of the wound.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it's
Like,
it's
like-
graphic. I feel like it works for brutal.
Yeah,
for sure. It's
But
nuts.
it's also brutal because it's an hour and a half of this shit.
But it's great.
Watch it.
But it's so engaging. Like you are,
It is
you're
very-
kind of,
yeah.
and then there's all these sad stories from all these cops who are like, I got stabbed in the face once. It's just like some of them start crying, and it's an emotional
I like how
roller
you said
coaster.
once.
Not-
You just really only need that one time. Right?
Yeah,
You're like,
you-
I don't want that to happen again.
you learn your lesson. You don't usually get a second face stabbing opportunity and live.
That's not funny. The guy started crying. You said the guy started crying.
I'm sorry, I forgot you were stabbed in the
No,
face.
if I stab
once.
you in the face, you know, am I going to start laughing if I stab you in the face? I
Oh,
may cry with you. I don't know. You don't know that. You got one eye fucking hanging out, and this guy's, and that's another fucking show. Forget it. But
we've made Mark angry.
Oh man, that's fucking. Good.
that was good. Unlike Eric and I love horror movies. There's so many you can get into, and there's so many ways you can put brutality or gore, etc. in a category. There's a couple that are in my mind that I know are pretty decent, and there's some that example, like I said, I'm the old man in the room, but there was one I used to watch, VHS, and for you don't know what VHS is, it's actually a big tape pre-dawn of the DVD player. Faces of Death was a series that came out in the 80s. Okay,
I think I torrented that.
you may have, and you can find it. And actually, and don't kill me out there in Podland, but Faces. I think there's 3 or 4 series.
1978?
Okay,
No, I think they were like 80.
More than that.
Like, I think it was
That's
insane.
funny.
Like,
Yes, the original
Yeah.
one.
There's a Faces of Death 8 right here.
Okay, so the original one and the story behind it.
Oh, so these are movies.
It's a big collaboration
Kinda.
on one VHS. It's like real life events that happen. Like a guy is standing there, he'll get run over by a truck or something. I mean,
but it wasn't actually real life.
Well, here's the
isn't that
thing.
what they found out?
That's what I never did. And
So
you
they
know,
just told everybody,
the thing
based
is,
on real life events, but we're full of
it's
shit.
narrated and it's like different cuts and stuff, as you would see. You know, back then there was no fucking Facebook. I think my uncle had the first Commodore Apple computer, but you couldn't look this shit up. You know, it was the VHS, and it was the fact was that, and the way it was sold, and the way it was written on the sleeve of the album cover was that it was, you know, real, based on based on real life events. You know, and you're sitting there, what was it, in '84? See, I'm 42, so I was, you know, a youngin', and you're watching this shit. You know, people run under a truck on a motorcycle, and the head goes flying off, and you're watching all this shit, you know, and it's like, and back then there was a big, you know, debacle over it on, oh my god, this shouldn't be, but is there, what do you got on the original?
Look up the California Orgy.
Is that Faces of Death
Yeah.
thing?
And but that movie always stuck in my mind because it was one of the, you
No,
know.
Face of Death
71.
is fucked up. You know what? You know what I think was always funny about it was, or not funny about it, but
Is it this? There's what the fuck is this?
possibly, or did we just find porn on YouTube?
Oh, this is like a 2.5 hour.
Oh, okay.
But it's split up.
I got
it's
you.
not.
That might be real.
That's pretty.
No, you
gnarly.
see what I'm saying? A lot
might
of shit.
be
Look,
real.
so right now we're watching snippets from.
But
it on
we're actually
YouTube,
watching
and-
the heartbeat, so that person is not dead. So that's more like faces have just cut open.
But
Unless he dies here.
And also, that's a stomach. So really, the title's all wrong from the start.
Potion called Chicha. I knew my visit to their village would soon be rewarded.
Remember how
Oh shit! Here's
Yeah,
a
there you go.
monkey head.
Now they cut. Oh, see, that's real. That's real, dude. You know,
chilled monkey brains.
they eat that shit. Let me
This
get
is
it.
like before there were laws against this kind of shit.
Oh, look at the little monkey. Got a little smile on his
He was,
face.
yeah, he
crack
was
in the
cute.
skull.
Yo, let me get to that.
It's sad.
It is really like I'm right now. I'm
gnarly.
Poor monkey.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm just saying that's some brutal shit right
That's
there.
not even enough
Okay.
brain to really feed you.
That shit
It's
is
like a
tasty.
brain snack bite, like a bite. Like you would get an order of like 8 of these at a restaurant.
Let me get.
And at this
8
moment,
monkey
I'd like to
brains.
go. By the way, Faces of Many Brewtality Podcast, sponsored by Bite-Sized Monkey Brains, the snack that thinks sometimes. Bite-Sized Monkey Brains.
Brought to you. But anyway, this is one of, and then another one that came to my mind, which everybody saw the movie, and this is one of those movies, whether you're a horror junkie like most of us, or you just, it's a movie you don't go into, you know what you're going to see. Is Saw. For as far as
Well, you can't have 2 movies. That's not fair.
that was a quick one. But
that's cheating.
or I could go on forever. I got Leatherface and Jason. I got Chuck. I mean, I love.
Well, not to. I mean,
But no.
what? Because you mentioned like people being unsure of what was real and what was not, and then
Right, to
like
get back to
you
that,
think
sorry.
you think back to like Cannibal Holocaust
Oh,
and how that guy actually had to go to
Classic.
trial.
Great.
That the director of that actually like got put on trial because they were like, we think those people are dead. And
shit.
And he hid them. No, the thing was like for promotion. Now we can't talk about Cannibal Holocaust in future episodes. Fuck.
No, we can't. It's alright.
Yeah, we'll just bring it back. Whatever.
But great move.
No, but he like because his whole like promotion for it, since it was so fucked up, because it's super fucked up. Check out Cannibal Holocaust if you're like a gore junkie. It's amazing. But like his whole promotion thing was like he had his cast like disappear for a while. Like he just was like just don't like go outside much for a few days while we hype this movie. And people were like, we haven't seen
Are
these
they
assholes.
dead?
Are they actually
That's
dead?
fucking crazy.
Yeah, there's some fun. I mean, there's
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Surprise!
But he had to break his promotional thing because he went to court, and they're like, "We think you killed people."
Oh, man.
You're in trouble,
That's
mister.
nuts.
So like that was common. There was another one. Another thing like that happened with. I won't go into too much detail because now I'm gonna think about it. I might want to use this on a future
Yeah, use it
episode.
later.
No.
But there was this series of Japanese movies called Guinea Pig,
Yes.
and who was the actor? I think it was Charlie Sheen actually, who got it banned in America because he thought it was real. And by the way, it's fucked up, but it doesn't look that real.
Yeah.
But
So
you know,
fuck you.
But that monkey
I was
brain
gonna say-
looked pretty real.
That monkey
think-
brain.
That'd be hard to tell.
Cannibal Holocaust killed animals, and that was around.
But
the
that
Yeah,
was-
I guess that was in
that
the
was
70s,
a thing
or it was
in the
before
'70s,
they
and
were-
as it went into
Yeah.
the
I
'80s
mean,
I
and blah
guess you
blah.
can always go into
Everybody
another
was like, "It's
country
real.
too,
No,
or
it's
some
not
shit.
real. It's real. No, it's not real." But when you actually sit down and you watch all of them, and Raf, it switches a lot. Like there's a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? It's not. It's a 2-hour movie, but it's always changing. Of different episodes. So, but when you see them all, like one's a car, one's a surgery, one's a this,
Yeah.
one's a that.
Yeah.
Look, it looks real. But in '78 or the '80s, I mean. But even when you look at most of them, look real. But anyway, that was a classic. I was very young,
Yeah.
and I used to sneak them. Obviously, my mom and dad would see my
That one was
my
70s.
albums, my vinyls with the with the fucking metal vinyls or the movie.
Well, I
CDs.
mean, you sacrifice, try to sacrifice cops to Satan when you listen to the Iron
So,
the
well,
Trooper.
that was great. The
From Iron Maiden.
because Eddie is totally pushes you to that point. But, but that's what you thought about. That movie always stuck in my head was Faces of Death. We'll definitely
Face
have-
of Death was fun.
We'll have a Faces of Death party one day, by the way, and we'll just sit and watch
Faces of
Watch
Many
them all.
Deaths.
Ah! By the way, check out Faces of Many. Thank you very much.
You heard Godmind earlier in the podcast.
So, who was the most brutal?
I like Faces.
I think it's a
Faces of
toss
Death,
up between your two.
But I like Mushface. This segment is also brought to you by Rafiq.
Brought to you by
Mushface.
Mushface,
Scratching at the door.
What
Mushface.
cat is he?
the cat that mushes
Himalayan.
back.
Himalayan. And for those who don't know what a Himalayan looks like, he looks like he was running about 30 miles an hour and face planted into the wall.
Remember the joke?
But I love him to death. He's a great cat.
Remember the joke in Little Nicky about how his face is fucked up because he got hit in the face with a shovel? That's mush face.
That's mush face. But mush face fucking rules.
From the south. The deep south.
We all have ugly, crazy looking animals. I have a chihuahua that looks like a fruit bat. But
You do.
Anyway.
I love him.
I go with Ross. I give Ross 2 thumbs up. I mean, that is fucking pretty brutal, man.
Yeah, the Blood Eagle's rough.
Well, and the thing with the Blood Eagle too is they do it while you're still alive.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
Can I present an argument for mine, though?
Sure.
Even though it doesn't
course.
seem like the most brutal.
you need to.
So, of course, some police officers tend to jump the gun and shoot too soon. If the training videos are just telling you how everyone has a knife always and is trying to use it on you.
Altar also.
Yeah.
You know?
If you have to watch hour-and-a-half videos about how anyone is trying to stab you with a knife at any time, you'd shoot first. So
Yeah.
my movie actually causes real death.
That is very true as well.
But, you know, brutality. I think everybody had a good one.
He's
But
got
I
a
just
knife,
think-
probably!
I definitely think that.
I'll go Blood Eagle.
I think it's
I'll go
brutal.
Blood
It's pretty
Eagle.
brutal. So.
Okay, so we got 1 Rafiq, 1 Marc, 0 Eric.
Well, fucking right. Just one, absolutely not a damn thing.
Damn. Okay, so on that note,
Are we gonna play another song?
I think we're gonna play another song. We just got this one back from our lovely Kevin Tuck at the Porch Studios.
The Porch fucking Studios.
Yeah, man.
Rules balls.
Brought to you by the Porch Studios. If you like to snack on monkey brains while recording your
Slamming bottles
music,
of rum. Was it rum?
whiskey,
Oh God.
honey whiskey.
Good days.
Oh my God, an entire bottle.
And
It was impressive.
That's how I get those dulcet tones. Brutality, baby.
he also had a cinder block tied to his balls, but
Like the Asians do.
for that extra grip. The name of that song is.
We're gonna play you. No, it's not called that.
Just because
Okay, we're gonna play you Existential
Existential
Nightmare (parentheses slow jam).
Right. For those, you know. It's okay.
We'll be back in just a minute.
Peace.
Standing in a room full of gods, realize you are nothing. Standing in a room full of gods.
Silver bullet. Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah,
Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Woo!
So
Ric Flair, dirtiest player in the game.
What song was that? That we just played?
Also spoke Zarathustra.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. Slow jams?
Slow jams?
Existential.
Existential Nightmare.
The one I was humming.
We don't even remember our own fucking
Just
song names.
fucking.
Existential nightmares, slow
there you
jams, silver bullets.
Chorus line is right piano. Anyway,
It's Coors, it's light, it's
So-
beer, alright.
This brings us to our third and final section of the night.
That's we just really want to keep going.
We could if you come up with more categories.
Gay.
So this is our real life
Favorite insect.
brutality.
and by and by no way are we, if anything we talk about, are we politicians? Are we fucking leaders? Are we?
We're not historians.
Historians.
We're not journalists.
We're just
we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, we're just a few idiots.
exactly
Who have Google.
And recording equipment.
exactly, and we're just bullshitting. But
This is why we need to pass serious common sense legislation on microphones. Like, not everyone needs a semi-automatic microphone in their house.
You can have a revolving microphone.
revolving microphone,
Yeah.
fine, or single shot.
Pump
microphone.
action.
Pump action. Yeah.
It's fine.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
But you can't have a microphone with 30 capsules.
No,
It's too many.
You can't do it.
not
Who
happening.
needs that?
not happening.
Who needs that many capsules? What are we, madmen?
We'll break this one off differently. Who wants to?
It's your turn to spin, because I spin.
No!
I
The
spin.
Coors can is God. Mark!
Alright, so you go first.
We're talking about real life shit, by the way. This is real.
Okay.
As far as we know.
Let's see. In no way am I glorifying anything, or I'm saying the consequences of what happened of this event, because for me, it was a life-changing event as far as the way I felt about shit, or the way I felt, because I had a lot of good friends in it. And like I said earlier, I'm not political, and I'm not going into the political aspect of this, or who done it, or facts about it. But for me, at the time, and I worked in the aviation field, was when 9/11 happened. And I'll tell you why.
And the mood goes.
Yeah, no, we're talking about real life brutal shit. I'm a New Yorker.
I mean,
I'm a New
the
Yorker.
number of people who died,
That-
that's fucking brutal.
It was brutal.
But that's what I'm saying. There's all you take me out of the city, you can't take shit out of me. You take me out of New York, you can't take New York. I'm from New York, got a lot of brothers, a lot of families, a lot of paisans.
New York likes to penetrate, Mark.
But yeah, I love it. I'll take it right. But
We're talking about 9/11, Rafiq. Have some fucking
thank
respect.
you, thank you. I'm not coming blood, but. And for me, I lost, I had a good friend of mine. I grew up with Frank, FT, what's up, brother? I love you, rest in peace. But the way it happened, how many people perished, the way they perished, I mean, just the stupid, like I said, I'm not getting political, but the political propaganda, other pictures about the people, jumping out of the windows. I think that was more brutal than the fucking event, because they posted all these pictures the next day, in a magazine of, people jumping out of
Yeah, I mean,
windows.
to be in that kind of situation, like you feel like your only escape
What do
is
you
to
do?
jump
It's
out
to
of
jump
a
out of a
fucking
fucking
Yeah.
window,
30-story window. That's
and,
nuts.
And and it'll always be implanted in my cousin. What's up, Alyssa? In Staten Island, she worked in the towers, and my uncle. They were actually on their way to work that day. Point being, it was on the ferry. They saw the shit going on, but. Not a glorifying brutality as I would a kill a horror movie. I'm saying it stuck with me. I lived through, I had a lot of friends, a lot of family. The way it happened, the outcome of it, it was just sick. Shouldn't have happened, but it was a very fucking sick and brutal act, by somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't only the trade towers too, right? They hit the Pentagon, and
Right.
that's even more.
The Pentagon and another plane went down.
Not a lot of people talk about that.
So,
part
but,
of it when we do our annual remembrance.
Exactly. You're correct. And
Yeah, I always remember when that happened. I was in high school and just sitting there, and our history teacher turns on the TV, and we're just like in complete shock.
But
like,
think
fuck?
about that. You're sitting there chilling, you're having a killer day. You turn on the TV, you see that. It's like that's something for anybody to fucking pull off.
Right.
Well,
that's fucking brutal.
Yeah, and then the outcome of like that's one of those moments where, I mean, I will say, let me preface my statement with the understanding that I am an American, and therefore I see the world through an American perspective. But it does feel like that unlike maybe, while terrorist attacks are always awful, 9/11 had a real impact on the entire world. Like
in general.
Like, 50, 60, 70 years from now, I think history textbooks will be talking about. Across the world, we'll talk about 9/11 for the cause of multiple things. There are just so many.
So many things branched out of that in different aspects.
Because like all the different wars in the Middle East, it's not just American soldiers there. There's British soldiers there. There's I'm not gonna. I know British, but I'm not gonna pretend to know all the countries. But there's various countries involved in conflicts now.
Right.
And then, I don't think it's unfair to say that there's a connection between like what happened in 9/11 and the post-response to the terrorist attacks that are happening in Europe right now. So
holy shit.
I think that when you talk about real life brutality, one thing that can be considered brutal is the greater historical impact.
Yeah, and it had a lot of immediate impacts that are going to last for a long
time. Forever.
Yeah, it
fucked a lot of shit up as far as even since then, in general, how many people now just look towards somebody that looks Muslim or Islamic, or like you said, I'm not being racist. I'm saying people in general walk by a Muslim and go, just because of that event, where in normal life, if that never happened,
it's just the start of extreme Muslim racism or whatever, and
crazy.
The start of the war on terror, and
how many people
think about
Rafiq can say this? He's a terrorist. So.
Disclaimer: I am half Pakistani. But if you think about like the state that the world was in at that time too, like the effect that event had on the world itself.
They were so yes. I agree. And that's why I think it was brutal. Not only did I say the towers happen, okay, use that example, but the branch out from that and go in fucking 300 other directions, and that's still going on to this day.
The incredibly real life implications.
That's what mine was.
Yeah, heavy duty event for sure.
Yeah, that's a real bummer. And let's not forget the most brutal aspect about it. That country song that came out that was fucking terrible.
I'll put my boot up their ass.
Oh, I didn't even mean that one.
American
oh my God! Just in general, how bad country got after 9/11.
But
where were you when the world stopped turning?
Didn't Team America came out
Fuck
after 9/11, and that is probably the best thing that came out of 9/11.
That movie is great. I have
so
to say,
funny.
But the unrated one, fuck yeah.
I don't know, man. There's also like Bush did 9/11 memes. Those are pretty great.
What was it?
Bush did 9/11 memes. Those are pretty great.
Oh, I haven't seen
But
a
come
lot
on,
of those.
Because Bush did 9/11, guys. Let's be real.
When you do see a picture of him reading a book to, I think, a kindergarten or a first grade class, and the book is upside down. Yeah, come on, man.
I know a lot of people.
But anyway,
Run, Spot, run, Mr. President. But I want to know how this book ends. This is the first one I've read.
He was real easy to make fun of, but man, I would take him over what we got now.
Not, like I said, not to get political, but this is what we do. We're just bullshitting and having a good time with it. But yeah, definitely.
No, we're not political. We don't care about our small-handed president.
It's his turn.
No, you gotta spin the whole round.
Oh shit!
You get the whole round.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, let's go. I'm gonna go with Eric for 5. Rafiq. Please welcome to center stage, Rafiq.
But that we have to transition.
The good cores can giveth, and the good cores can taketh away.
Through your bladder.
Oh, what?
I don't know. So I was watching some stuff on the news last week, and I saw this weird situation.
Okay, before you get into this, I'm gonna be real with you. The amount of ads on this page
Oh, it's insane.
make me think this story is not real.
Oh, it's real.
No, it's listen, Raph don't
So
bullshit.
you say.
No, I found it on
Fact check, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I found it on a few sites and stuff. Philip DeFranco covered it.
Oh, well, you know, if a YouTuber said it, it's gotta
Yeah,
be.
but I mean,
We love you, Philly D.
yeah, he does his research, and then you can follow up with your own research.
Again, faces of many FOM@gmail.com.
/ Philip DeFranco show.
Okay.
So
What do we got?
this guy in Georgia, his dog gets out during the day. He's at work. The dog is like, I don't know. The neighbor's having some sort of interaction that's sort of unclear about what is happening. But the neighbor ends up calling the police. The police come. The dog runs at the cops. They shoot the dog. And then there's all this shit about rabies. The dog maybe has rabies or whatever. So then the police break protocol and make the dog's owner cut the fucking dog's head off.
What?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, to be fair, if you watch all of Surviving Edged Weapons,
Oh, yeah.
you ask the perpetrator.
There you go.
You ask the perpetrator to cut the head off an animal, so to see if they are holding a knife.
They did have the monkey's head cut off. On
It's a way to see if they had a weapon. It's like
So, did they?
it's like before we have an interaction, sir. Can you kill this squirrel? It's like, of course I can. He has a knife. SMENS.
SMENS.
Fucking
Stabilized. So, did they cut the head off?
yeah, the owner cut his own dog.
Why? Why did he do that?
Because they were threatening all the shit, like to arrest him and all this stuff.
For not cutting your dog's head off.
Right, because
Pretty sure that's not in any law book.
No, it's not. And it turns out that the real way that it's supposed to be done is that whatever medical examiner's office is supposed to come and take the dog and then remove the head and test for rabies. But yeah, the police made this guy cut his own dog's head off after shooting it
Oh, that's
while
amazing.
he was at work.
Wow, dude.
Oh, that's...
I can't imagine coming home to that. Like,
Honey, a little problem we had today.
and there's video too
I cut the
right?
fucking dog's head off.
of this fucking cop.
Oh, he's sweetie. I love him.
Yeah, it
Aw,
looks like a
it's
super sweet dog.
sad.
It's fucked up.
Got a video of him getting his head cut off?
No, just the interaction between the
Oh.
owner and
I
the
will
cop.
take you to jail and charge you, and we'll see how much a lawyer
Charge
is.
me with what?
When I get there,
What?
when I get there, give
You
you the
make
charge.
it up?
And I'll make it thing. I'm gonna
Well, the
go
fucking
Wait,
bow tie.
he's a cop in a bow tie? This guy's not even real.
Dude, it looks
He's
like...
got a he's got a pocket protector.
Look, I'm not being racist again, but this guy we're watching looks like a black Pee Wee Herman.
remove the dog.
And he's threatening
Yeah, that's a
That's what cops look like in Georgia?
I ain't got a knife to cut the off.
If you would have just listened to us and let him get done explaining when she explained everything to him. We don't know this process either.
You just told me you were animal.
He just says he doesn't know
I don't
the
know.
process of doing
Listen,
his job.
We don't know what the fuck's going on. You don't know what the fuck's going
So let's
on.
just cut the
You
fucking-
gotta cut your dog's head off.
That cop shot.
I'm beginning to think these weren't even
That
cops.
officer.
One of them was in a bow tie.
I mean, they even show him starting to cut the dog's head off.
You got the freezer. That can be tested for rabies. Okay.
Here's the number.
Singular
They
rabies.
put it in a fucking like a fucking Publix bag, fucking grocery bag.
That's Georgia. I think it's a piggly.
What did I do? Walk back to the precinct and go, Sarge, here.
This dog's
I
head.
got this head here. Send it down to
You
the
won't
lab."
believe what we got this guy to do today.
He fucking cut his dog's head off.
Oh, you guys win the pool.
You
this
got
month.
it.
Oh,
Holy
squad car 397.
And the health department wrote
Oh.
We'll send you your dog's head back after it's
Super
found.
fucked up.
I have to say
So,
that.
so just like with Cannibal Corpse, 2 of us came in with cop-related things.
Yeah.
What do you got? What do you got? What do you
We
got?
got a... Oh. Okay, so I guess it's my turn.
Yeah, well, you want to spin the can?
I mean, always.
I don't think
but
there's a need to spin the can.
No. What do you got?
I am going to... So sort of going off your idea about like an event an event that like really impacted history. I'm going to say
Which, if you impact
the
history.
year 1, the first year of World War I. The first year of World War I, 1914.
14.
Because so 1914, Austria-Hungary is mad, Serbia's mad, Germany's mad, France is mad, England's not mad yet, but they'll get there. Russia is taking their time to get mad, and Turkey will eventually go, I guess we're mad too. And war breaks out in Europe. And here's why I think it's brutal. So prior to the 20th century, the 1900s, war was nuts, war was brutal, war was bad, but there was a romanticism to war. People thought about, becoming a soldier and going to war as a great adventure, and it's glorious to serve your country, and it's and there's no sarcasm or cynicism towards America's fighting force or anything of that nature.
I'll punch you in the eye.
Because Marc will kill me, and then that will be the next episode, the real life event when Marc killed Eric. But no, there was this.
Do you remember last week?
Rafiq cut Eric's head off. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Marc killed him, and then Eric said,
The cops made me cut his head off.
cut his head off.
We'll go to jail. We'll go to jail. Cut his head off. Send it off for testing. Anyway.
And then I got freaked out because he had an edged weapon, and I just watched a thing where like those are always dangerous. So war breaks.
SMENS.
Shoot, move, shoot more.
Evaluate. Anyway, sorry. Evaluate. Yeah, I just shot the motherfucker.
So prior to this, there's this romanticized ideal of war, but then World War I is truly the war where people go, oh shit, war sucks.
Yeah.
Like really, really sucks.
Isn't it one of the most deadly wars in history or some shit?
Well,
like
so
that?
here's the thing. It's here's why I picked the first year. Because the first year is where we see the old style of war become outdated. So Germany decides, crash course in World War I, Germany decides to march through Belgium because it wants to attack France, but the border between France and Germany is like heavily fortified, and they're like, there's like a shit ton of fucking forts and guns, and that sounds bad. But they go, but since Belgium is a neutral country, let's go up through Belgium because it will be less fortified. And Belgium's like, no, don't, please. And they're like, listen, we won't fuck with you. And they're like, well, fuck you, you don't come in my country. And Belgium declares war. And Germany's like, listen, just don't blow up the bridges as we walk through and we won't like do anything. And so what does Belgium do? They blow up the bridges. Fuck you, Germans!
Tell me not to do it.
And the Germans are...
Like a
now,
5-year-old.
and I want to be clear about this. Germans in World War I are not as... While they do horrible things, there's a difference between World War I Germany and World War II Germany, because the French and the British will do horrible things in this war too. Everybody does shitty things. It's a shitty war. It's just a shitty war all around. It's not like World War II where there's like a clear-cut villain. So World War I Germany, while they do some fucked up things like when a town blows up a village, they like shoot everybody in the town, which is wrong, and that's civilian casualties, but
pretty much.
But Britain will go and do things, and France will go and do things in Germany eventually anyway, so whatever. But anyway, point is, here's where we see like the dynamic of war like change.
Yeah.
Because the Germans have gone, these things called machine guns, they're fucking great. More of those, please. Plus, Germans have like, They have taken guns that previously only existed on battleships.
Yeah, pretty much.
These 15, 16-inch cannons that are shooting. They have this gun. Previously, the biggest cannon weighs about maybe 2,000 pounds and shoots. The biggest ball it shoots is a 12-pound cannonball.
It's like a fucking bowling ball.
Yeah.
It's pretty metal.
I think that'll leave a hole.
The Germans invent a gun that weighs like 300,000 pounds and shoots 2,000-pound shells. And I mean, we think about like the day that we learned the war would, the day we learned that mankind could destroy itself. We think about that as like the atomic bomb. Yeah. But think about being like the first soldier to see this German cannon and the devastation from that, and just be that guy who's like, yeah, we're fucked.
Holy shit.
Like, just the world's over.
Did you see that?
That was the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Literally. There's nothing worse than that at any point in history.
Yeah.
And so, now here's the thing about the French, and this is where it gets brutal. The French still fight war. This is 1914. They are still fighting war as if it is 1814 under Napoleon. They wear red pants, bright blue coats with bronze armor, and these fucking crazy red and blue hats and white gloves. And they think that the strongest thing in a war is cavalry.
Right.
And so the first few months of the war, before we get into the trench warfare, which is really what people know World War I for.
The trench warfare.
The French believe in this idea of the all-out offensive, like constantly attack. Bayonet charges up the ass. Cavalry charges up the ass. You don't bayonet charge or cavalry charge a fucking machine gun.
Doesn't work. And
so motherfuckers are just getting mowed down.
Yeah.
Just da 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 da. Oh shit, horses aren't bulletproof. Who would have known? Anyone. And so, like, you see, and this will really develop as the war goes on, but it's insane. Like, so many lives are lost because the war just becomes this massive experiment of nothing we used to do works. None of the plans we had during peacetime work. How the fuck do we win a war? And nobody knows. Nobody knows. So it's just like, well, what if we sent 30,000 people to do this? Oh, they all died. So that doesn't work. Now we know.
Okay, let's try this.
Now we know. When the Germans present gas, they're not expecting it to be as bad as it is. It just fucking annihilates people. They don't think to use it more because it was just a test. It's crazy. It's nuts, and it's so rough, and it's fucking insane.
That's an interesting perspective on that. Because, you take... I mean, it's been fucking years since I've taken history.
Right.
But they teach you, like, this is what happened, this is why it happened, this is the result, right?
Yeah.
But they don't give you any insight.
In-betweens, insights.
Right. But that's an interesting look, like, to view it as science, essentially. The science of war.
Yeah. Well, there's two ways to look at that. There's the science of the war itself and, like, the technological advancements and how they play things. There's also the human element that just makes for, not to, downplay human tragedy, but it makes for a good story.
Yeah.
By the way, Eric, don't think that he's smarter than me and Rafiq. He's been listening to a World War I...
Hardcore history.
Dan Carlin podcast. Anyway, go ahead. That was a
I'm totally ripping him off. Thank you for giving me my source, because it would have been plagiarism to not cite it right then. So, Dan Carlin, Hardcore History.
Which is very interesting.
I recommend Armageddon for a Blueprint. That series is real... Or Armageddon for a Blueprint. Blueprint for Armageddon. Brewtality.
Brewtality of Cerveza.
No, but it's like... Obviously, like, the rest of the war will be terrible because once they've learned that they can't just charge at each other, they fortify, they dig trenches, they put things up. And that's part of why the war is so bad, is because... In a charge, you beat people, they run away, and then they run away, and the war is over. In trench warfare, it's just everyone shooting at each other and bombing each other for fucking months.
Months, hours, days,
years. It's crazy. And I mean, the casualties just grow, and even like World War I will be the war where they call it shell shock at the time. Eventually, they'll call it PTSD. That's where they really start seeing it because you cannot have somebody living in mud being bombed every day for a month and they'll be fine. Like, that's not how people work.
Nope.
And it's nuts. Like, just the amount of outright just destruction and carnage. But that first year is crazy because everybody's got these grand ideas of what war is. And then they start getting mowed down by machine guns, and they go, "Oh shit, we were wrong. We were so wrong."
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts.
You know, which is cool. I mean, not cool, but that topic about the World War I thing, and we're talking about that, but that could branch off in 20 other things too, because brutality, like the Germans, fucking shit that was going on. Like, you hear things about, the secret experiments or the secret testings of things, and just a crazy era. Like Rafiq said, you learn shit in school as A, B, the C, you're done.
Well, it's like, it kind of look at the technology of the time too. The war was driving that technology.
True.
And now, like, there's a lot of stuff with the Cold War that kind of had the same effect, and then more recently stuff with the it's not really a war, but the race to space or whatever the fuck they call it.
Race.
Yeah.
It's been increasing technology. So those kinds of things, I mean, obviously war.
Well, that comes from
not good.
But even the race to space comes from war.
Right.
If it hadn't been for the research into rockets to make missiles,
And it's coming.
we wouldn't have figured out how to shoot
It's
something
like,
into space.
So-
what's his name that's going on now? The Korean.
Kim Jong, whatever the fuck.
That's right. But anyway.
Kim Jong, we won't say his name. Don't bomb us, please.
Hi, so.
Like, just be chill. Just be chill,
Team
fam.
America.
I'm so lonely. Anyway, but the missile launches, the testing, that I know has done that, but like Rafiq said, the technology, they keep pushing buttons and testing and trying to get this missile closer with, closer.
I mean, obviously, war is shitty, no matter how you look at it. But
that's the official stance of this podcast.
War is shitty.
War is shitty.
War is shitty. Brought to you by.
There you go. You can agree with us on that, right?
Something
But
may be required.
it's essentially competition, right? And from competition comes improvement in some way. Innovation. I mean, cavemen probably like, who's stronger? I'm fucking stronger.
Well, I have this knife.
I'm gonna get stronger.
Stab you in the dick. Surviving edged weapons once again.
I was gonna say, cavemen with Wisconsin accents.
Yeah, they're bad. I'm just trying to drive home, eh?
Got stabbed in the cheese.
Fuck, man.
Stabbed in the cheese.
But yeah, dude.
But
so first year World War I, man. Fucking
great,
fucking. The amount of people who died, the impact it would have on war as it moved on. The terror of just like, what the fuck even is this? Going from this is gonna be an adventure to holy shit, there's so much metal flying around.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. So I present my real life brutal
those
event.
Times were
1914.
Those times were different.
World War I.
Think about how the also like the American side of that's what in those days the soldiers, how they were glorified. You know what I mean? Like, it was American pride, and then all the men were out fighting the war, and the women were, playing baseball or fucking building airplanes. I mean, there were so many changes everywhere that came out from that. It was
there's weird like.
But that was a time, man.
There's weird positives sometimes because like, so this is a bizarre one. The Serbians, they fight World War I, and even though they're on the winning side, it's devastating for them. World War I is the main cause of what will lead to the rise of Adolf Hitler in World War II, and for those that don't know, Serbians were on the list of take them to camps and gas them. So World War II would be terrible for Serbia too. And then the Soviet Union would happen. And then, once the Soviet Union goes away, Serbia gets what it always wanted, to be Serbia. Free and on its own. So they had to go through a lot of shit, but it eventually led to them getting their own nation. So I don't know what you call that. I don't know if you call that a victory.
Everybody polka!
Call it some silver lining.
Just, yeah, basically.
That's it.
Things have been shitty, but at least it's ours now.
At least it's ours now, damn it. But,
Alright, so who's got the most brutal real life event?
I don't know.
The dog thing was fucked.
That was good. That was.
But is there greater historical impact?
No, there is not.
No.
But does there need to be? Cutting your own dog's head off is fucked.
Ralph, I'm gonna have to say, brutality aspect, the way the story's told. I mean, I just picture myself cutting my chihuahua's head off right now.
Yeah, right.
So,
Think
and
about
that,
it.
which
Like,
is
I'm thinking
totally
about
not
Oh
cool.
my
fucking
god.
cat's head off.
Did we really do a thing that killed thousands of people and millions of people, and we're gonna vote on the dog thing?
Look, man.
Look,
That's my ride or
look.
die, man.
That's
I've been
how it
chilling
rolls,
with
right?
that dog.
kill people, no one really gives a shit. Kill dogs,
Forget about it.
Talk about
bad
killing
news.
and raping kids, get kicked off Spotify.
right? Exactly.
Bring it all back around.
And we're all actually sitting here wearing sexy lingerie, brought to you by Fairvilla Video.
Fair Villa.
You know,
Taste the silver
Eric
bullet.
is wearing a neon pink brassiere and go-go bottoms. Looks good. But
Thank you, Elf.
Elf on the Shelf. But no, that was
Okay, you know what? Dude cut his dog's head off.
I'm gonna go with that.
I'll vote for Rafiq.
I'm gonna go Rafiq. that was ridiculous.
I think that means Rafiq is the ultimate winner of this
Dun,
round.
dun, dun.
Tell them what they want.
I didn't even know this was
Time!
competitive.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I would have voted for World War One. That's fucking
Ah,
crazy
damn it!
shit in there.
Okay, redo. Time out. 2 over.
A red card.
No, but
Nah, Rafiq can be the winner this time.
don't forget also, if
You don't get anything.
If you guys, like I said, enjoy this bullshit, stupid thing we're doing, or you have any questions, I want to bring up something to talk about, Faces of Many, FOM@gmail, and then also
Mark, remember the Gmail.
you like that? .com.
At-
.com.
faceofmanyfom@gmail@yahoo.com.
No, don't listen to this.
We have a
This
Facebook.
guy knows what he's talking about.
We
Also,
do
if
have
you-
a Facebook.
If we do, it's if you guys get a chance, check out Faces of Many on Facebook. Drop by, say hi, say we suck,
We're
whatever.
also on iTunes, and
iTunes, very
Spotify, and Amazon,
Good.
and Google Music, and
Uh,
Pandora, and whatever the fuck else is out there.
What would you
Discord.
call it? EP?
Is that a thing?
Is that what we
I
work
don't
on?
know.
We have
Maybe.
one song.
One song up right now.
But who knows? When we actually, by the time we
we'll
put
have
this up, we
more,
might have
yeah.
another.
Yeah.
We might have
Yeah.
4 more.
Who knows?
EP.
We'll see.
Album.
This is all a lie!
Dun, dun, dun.
We're all gonna laugh at you. No, but the album's getting done, and can't wait for that, or EP, whatever the fuck you want, cassette, reel to reel, vinyl. We did all the stone tablet writings. We did it all.
If you think Eric's choices should have swept, let your voice be heard. Because I think
pushing for this.
I
win
got
here.
robbed.
Yeah, we
I
got
didn't
to
win
hear-
a single one.
Hear your feedback. No, you did.
No, I didn't. No.
It's because we.
Rafiq won 2, you got 1, I got nothing. Nothing. I devised the spin the can.
Remember, take your vitamins, brother.
But
When I get a hold of you, old Hogan, you're gonna step into a Slim Jim harder than you've ever stepped in anything. When I hit you with that flying elbow.
Why are we doing wrestling
I
voices?
don't know.
I
What are
was
you doing?
doing James Hetfield.
Yeah. I am the table.
hey, dude.
Next time we discuss the worst, the most brutal Metallica songs, not because they're actually heavy, but because they make your ears bleed.
Metallica.
All right.
I love you.
We've been-
Actually, I'm gonna talk to James next. He's probably listening now anyway.
Yeah,
James,
what
I'll
up,
talk to
James? You
Big
no neck
James!
fuck. All right, we've been Faces of Many. This has been the Brewtality on Demand, which once again isn't really on demand, so don't worry about that. I've been Eric,
I've been Mark,
I've been Raf.
and fuck you.
and we'll see you at the movies. No, I can't say that.